Hello and welcome. In this episode we will learn about Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin is one of the most powerful and well-known leaders in the world today. He is the president of Russia and has played a very important role in the country's history. His life is a story of hard work, strength, and rising to power from simple beginnings. Many people see him as a strong leader who helped bring stability to Russia after difficult times. Putin was born on October 7, 1952, in Leningrad, which is now called St. Petersburg. His family was not rich. They lived in a small apartment, and life was not easy. From a young age, Putin showed great discipline and focus. He was interested in sports, especially judo. He learned about hard work and self-control through sports, which helped him later in life. Putin studied law at Leningrad State University. After graduation, he joined the KGB, which was the security service of the Soviet Union. He worked as a spy in different countries. This job gave him great experience and made him understand the world better. After many years in the KGB, he moved into politics and slowly rose to the top. In 1999, Boris Yeltsin, the president of Russia, chose Putin to be prime minister. Soon after that, Yeltsin stepped down and made Putin the acting president. In 2000, Putin was officially elected as president of Russia. He promised to make Russia strong again and worked to bring order and progress to the country. Many Russians supported him because he gave hope and pride to the nation. Under his leadership, the economy improved, and the country became more powerful in world affairs. Putin is known for his calm style, strong words, and love for his country. Vladimir Putin's story teaches us that anyone, even from a poor background, can become a strong leader with hard work and determination. He is a symbol of confidence, discipline, and focus. His journey from a small apartment in Leningrad to the highest office in Russia is truly inspiring. Chapter 1: Early Life and KGB Career of Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin was born on October 7, 1952, in Leningrad, a city now called St. Petersburg, in Russia. He was the youngest of 3 sons. Sadly, his 2 older brothers died when they were very young. His family lived in a small apartment. Life was difficult, and there was not much money. His father worked in a factory and had also fought in World War II. His mother was a kind and quiet woman who worked hard to take care of the home. As a child, Putin was very curious and active. He liked to read books about spies and secret agents. He also loved action films and stories about brave heroes. At school, he was not the best student at first. But as he got older, he became more serious and started to work hard. He was also very good at sports. Putin trained in judo, a Japanese martial art. He became very skilled and even won competitions. Through judo, he learned discipline, focus, and strength, qualities that helped him later in life. After finishing school, Putin studied law at Leningrad State University. During his time at university, he joined the Communist Party and showed interest in working for the government. After he graduated in 1975, Putin joined the KGB, which was the main security and intelligence agency in the Soviet Union. This was a big step in his career. In the KGB, Putin was trained to be a spy. He learned many skills, such as how to gather information, keep secrets, and speak German. He was later sent to Dresden, East Germany, where he worked for several years. His job was to watch what was happening in the country and report back to Moscow. He worked quietly and followed orders very carefully. Putin served in the KGB for about 16 years. During that time, he learned how to understand people, plan carefully, and think quickly. These skills became very useful when he entered politics later. He rose to the rank of lieutenant colonel before leaving the KGB in 1991, after the Soviet Union started to fall apart. The early life and KGB career of Vladimir Putin show how a boy from a simple background worked hard, learned important lessons, and built the foundation for his future leadership. His time in the KGB taught him discipline, loyalty, and how to deal with complex situations, all of which helped him become one of the most powerful leaders in the world. Chapter 2: Rise to Power under Yeltsin of Vladimir Putin. After leaving the KGB in 1991, Vladimir Putin began working in politics in his home city of St. Petersburg. He started with a small job in the mayor's office, helping with foreign relations and business matters. He worked hard and gained the trust of important people. Many saw him as quiet but very smart and loyal. His good work helped him move up quickly. In 1996, Putin moved to Moscow, the capital of Russia. There, he started working for the Russian government. He held several important jobs and kept rising in power. In 1998, President Boris Yeltsin chose Putin to be the head of the FSB, which replaced the old KGB. This was a very powerful position. Putin worked well and showed that he could be trusted with big responsibilities. In 1999, Yeltsin made a surprising decision. He chose Vladimir Putin to become the Prime Minister of Russia. At that time, Russia was facing many problems. The economy was weak, and many people were unhappy. There was also a war going on in Chechnya, a region in the south of Russia. Putin spoke strongly and promised to bring peace and strength back to the country. Many people liked his calm and confident style. Later in 1999, Yeltsin made another big decision. On December 31st, he stepped down as president and made Putin the acting president. This was a very important moment in Putin's life. In just a few years, he had gone from a government worker to the leader of the whole country. In March 2000, Russia held elections. Putin ran for president and won with strong support. People liked his promise to make Russia stable, safe, and strong again. He worked hard to fix the economy, control crime, and bring order. Many Russians believed he was the right person to lead the country forward. The rise of Vladimir Putin under Boris Yeltsin is a story of quick success, smart choices, and trust. He showed loyalty to Yeltsin and did every job well. Step by step, he climbed the ladder of power. His quiet strength and clear vision made many people believe in him. This chapter shows how Putin's hard work and experience helped him move from local government to the highest office in Russia. It also shows how important Yeltsin's support was in giving Putin a chance to lead the nation. From this moment, Putin began to shape the future of Russia in a big way. Chapter 3, First Presidential Term, 2000 to 2004, of Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin became president of Russia in March 2000. He was 47 years old. Many people in Russia had great hope in him. The country was facing many problems after the fall of the Soviet Union. The economy was weak, there was a lot of crime, and people did not trust the government. Putin promised to make the country strong again. One of the first things Putin focused on was the economy. He worked to improve business, reduce inflation, and make sure workers got paid on time. During his first term, oil prices went up, and this helped Russia earn more money. The economy began to grow. People started to feel more hopeful. Life became a little better for many Russian families. Putin also worked to bring law and order. In the 1990s, crime was a big problem in Russia. Many powerful people controlled parts of the country, and the government was weak. Putin wanted to change this. He took strong steps to make sure the government had control. He made laws tighter and made sure people followed the rules. He also worked to reduce the power of big business leaders who were called oligarchs. Another big part of Putin's first term was the war in Chechnya. Chechnya is a region in southern Russia. There had been a lot of fighting there. Putin sent more soldiers and worked to bring peace and control to the region. The war caused much pain, but Putin said it was needed for the safety of the country. During this time, Putin also changed how Russia was run. He gave more power to the central government and less to the regions. He chose leaders called governors for each region instead of letting people vote for them. Some people said this was not democratic, but Putin said it was important for unity and order. In foreign affairs, Putin tried to improve Russia's image in the world. He met with world leaders and spoke for Russia in a strong way. After the terrorist attacks in the United States in 2001, Putin offered support to the U.S. He wanted Russia to be seen as a serious and respected country. By the end of his first term in 2004, Putin was very popular. Many Russians felt he had brought stability and hope. He had improved the economy, made the government stronger, and brought order to the country. While some people worried about less freedom, many others believed Putin was the strong leader Russia needed. This chapter shows how Putin used his first 4 years as president to bring change. His leadership style was strong and direct. He focused on power, peace, and pride for the country. It was the start of a new time for Russia under Vladimir Putin. Chapter 4: Second Presidential Term and Centralization of Power of Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin began his second term as President of Russia in 2004. He won the election with strong support from the people. Many Russians believed he had brought stability and growth during his first term. Now, they wanted him to continue building a stronger and more powerful Russia. In his second term, Putin focused more on controlling the government and making it work more smoothly. This is called centralization of power. It means that more decisions were made in the capital, Moscow, by the central government, and less by the regional leaders. Putin believed this was important to keep the country united and safe. Before, each region of Russia had its own elected governor. These governors had a lot of power in their areas. Putin changed this. Now, the president would choose the governors, and the regional leaders would be approved by the local parliaments. This gave more power to the central government. Putin said this change would stop corruption and make the country stronger. But some people said it took away people's right to choose their leaders. During this time, the media in Russia also became more controlled. Big television stations and newspapers that once spoke freely were now more careful. Many were owned or controlled by the government or by people close to Putin. This helped the government share its message, but it also meant fewer voices were allowed to speak against it. Putin also made changes to the political system. He made it harder for small parties to win seats in the parliament. This meant only big and strong parties, like his party, could stay in power. It gave Putin and his team more control over laws and decisions in the country. Even though some people in other countries worried about these changes, many Russians supported Putin. They believed he was making life better. The economy was still growing. More people had jobs, and life was more stable than before. Putin was also popular because he spoke about Russian pride and strength. He made people feel proud of their country again. Putin used this time to build strong connections with important people in business, the military, and the government. These people supported him and helped him stay powerful. He also worked to keep Russia important in world politics by speaking strongly on global issues. By the end of his second term in 2008, Putin could not run again because the Russian constitution did not allow more than 2 terms in a row. But his power and popularity were still strong. This chapter shows how Vladimir Putin used his second term to make the government stronger and more united. He believed that central control was the key to Russia's future. While some people worried about losing freedom, others believed Putin was doing what was best for the country. His time in power was shaping the new Russia. Chapter 5: Prime Ministership and Return to Presidency of Vladimir Putin. In 2008, Vladimir Putin finished his second term as President of Russia. The Russian law did not allow him to be president for 3 terms in a row. But Putin still wanted to help lead the country. So, he chose Dmitry Medvedev, a close friend and trusted partner, to run for president. Medvedev won the election, and he became the new president of Russia. After the election, Medvedev made Putin the Prime Minister of Russia. This was the second most powerful position in the country. Even though he was not the president, Putin was still very important. Many people believed he was still the real leader of Russia. As Prime Minister from 2008 to 2012, Putin focused on the economy and national security. During this time, the world faced a big financial crisis. Russia was also affected. Putin worked hard to protect jobs and support businesses. He helped the country recover and stay strong. He also continued to make Russia more powerful on the world stage. Putin and Medvedev worked closely together. They called their plan the tandem leadership, which means 2 people leading together. While Medvedev spoke more about modern ideas and technology, Putin focused on stability, tradition, and strength. This teamwork helped the government run smoothly. In 2011, Medvedev announced that he would not run for a second term. Instead, He supported Putin to run for president again. This was a big moment. Many people in Russia were happy, but some were not. There were protests in big cities. Some people said it was unfair. They felt that the same leaders were always in control. But many others still trusted Putin and believed he was the right choice. In 2012, Putin ran for president and won the election. This time, the presidential term was changed from 4 years to 6 years. So, Putin could now stay president until 2018. Later, he would run again in 2018 and continue leading the country. During the election, Putin promised to make Russia stronger, protect its culture, and support the people. He said he would focus on building a better future for the country. After winning, he returned to the Kremlin, the president's official home in Moscow. This return to power showed how popular and powerful Putin was. He had never really left the top of Russian politics. Even as prime minister, he remained the main decision-maker. His experience, leadership, and strong personality helped him stay in control. This chapter shows how Putin continued to lead Russia, even when he was not president. He used smart planning and teamwork to stay in power. His return to the presidency in 2012 marked the start of a new chapter in Russian history, with Putin once again at the center. Many Russians still believed in him, hoping he would bring peace, pride, and progress to their country. Putin's story continued, showing his long-lasting influence and strong hold on leadership in Russia. Chapter 6: Foreign Policy and Relations with the West of Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin's foreign policy is how he works with other countries around the world. One of the most important parts of this is Russia's relationship with the West. The West usually means countries like the United States, the United Kingdom, Germany, France, and other European nations. When Putin first became president in 2000, he wanted better relations with the West. After the terrorist attacks in the United States on September 11, 2001, Putin offered help to the American government. He allowed the U.S. to use Russian land for military supplies and showed support in the fight against terrorism. At this time, Russia and the West seemed to be working together. However, things began to change. Putin did not like how NATO, a military group of Western countries, was growing larger. NATO added new member countries that were close to Russia. Putin saw this as a threat. He felt that the West was trying to become too powerful near Russia's borders. In 2004, more problems started when Ukraine and Georgia, two countries near Russia, wanted to be closer to the West. They talked about joining NATO and the European Union. Putin did not want this to happen. He believed these countries were part of Russia's area of influence. This caused tension between Russia and the West. In 2007, Putin gave a speech in Munich, Germany. In this speech, he said that the United States was acting like the boss of the world. He did not agree with this. He wanted Russia to be treated equally and with respect. This speech showed that Russia and the West were not as friendly anymore. In 2008, Russia and Georgia had a short war. Russia sent troops into parts of Georgia and took control of two regions. The West did not support this and spoke against it. But Putin believed he was protecting Russian people in those areas. Later, in 2014, a very big event happened. Russia took control of Crimea, a part of Ukraine. This shocked many countries. The West said it was wrong and illegal. They gave Russia many punishments called sanctions. These sanctions hurt Russia's economy. Still, Putin said that Crimea belonged to Russia and would not give it back. After this, relations between Russia and the West became much worse. There were disagreements about wars, politics, and cyber attacks. The West said Russia was trying to influence other countries' elections. Russia said the West was trying to control other nations. Putin also worked to build stronger ties with countries like China, India, and others. He wanted Russia to have many friends, not just Western ones. He often spoke about a world where all countries are equal and no one is more powerful than others. This chapter shows how Putin's foreign policy changed over time. At first, he wanted to work with the West. But as he felt Russia was being disrespected or ignored, he chose a stronger, more independent path. His goal was always to make Russia strong and respected in the world. Chapter 7. The Annexation of Crimea and Conflict in Ukraine. In 2014, a very important event happened in Europe. Russia, led by President Vladimir Putin, took control of Crimea, a part of Ukraine. This action is called annexation, which means taking land and making it part of your country. It caused a big conflict and made many countries around the world very worried. Crimea is a region in the south of Ukraine. It is close to Russia and has many people who speak Russian. For many years, Crimea was part of Ukraine, but Russia had a strong interest in it. Russia also had a big navy base in Crimea. Many Russians believed that Crimea should be part of Russia. In early 2014, the government of Ukraine changed. There were large protests in the capital city, Kyiv. The Ukrainian president at the time, who supported Russia, left the country. A new government took power. This new government wanted to be closer to the West, including the European Union and NATO. Putin did not like this change. Soon after the protests, soldiers without flags appeared in Crimea. These soldiers were later confirmed to be Russian. They quickly took control of important places. After that, a vote was held in Crimea. The people were asked if they wanted to join Russia. Russia said most people voted yes. But Ukraine and many other countries said the vote was not fair and not legal. Putin said he was protecting Russian-speaking people in Crimea. In March 2014, Russia officially made Crimea part of its country. This made Ukraine very angry. Many countries in the West said Russia had broken international law. They gave Russia strong punishments called sanctions. These sanctions hurt the Russian economy. After Crimea was taken, fighting began in eastern Ukraine. This area also had many Russian-speaking people. Some groups there did not want to stay in Ukraine. They started fighting against the Ukrainian government. Russia was accused of helping these fighters with weapons, training, and even soldiers. Putin said Russia was not involved directly, but many people did not believe him. The conflict in eastern Ukraine caused thousands of people to die. Many families lost their homes and had to leave. Cities were damaged, and peace was hard to find. The war continued for many years. Many efforts were made to stop the fighting, but they did not work well. The annexation of Crimea and the conflict in Ukraine changed how the world saw Russia. Relations between Russia and the West became much worse. Many countries stopped working closely with Russia. But inside Russia, many people supported Putin's actions. They believed he was protecting Russian people and standing up for the country's rights. This chapter shows how a small region like Crimea can cause big changes in the world. It also shows how Vladimir Putin's decisions can affect many people, both inside and outside Russia. His goal was to make Russia strong, but the cost was high, and peace in the region was lost. Chapter 8. Domestic Policies and Political Opposition of Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin has been the leader of Russia for many years. During this time, he has made many domestic policies. These are the rules and plans that affect people inside the country. His main goals were to make Russia strong, improve the economy, and keep the country safe and united. One of Putin's important policies was to make the government more powerful. He gave more control to the central government in Moscow. He changed how regional leaders, called governors, were chosen. Instead of people voting for them, Putin began to appoint them. This made it easier for him to control the whole country and make sure everyone followed the same rules. Another big part of Putin's policy was improving the economy. At first, the Russian economy got better. Oil and gas sales brought in a lot of money. Many people had better jobs, and life became more stable. Putin used this money to build roads, schools, and hospitals. He also worked to raise pensions and help poor families. However, not all domestic policies were popular. Some people said there was less freedom under Putin. The government began to control television stations and newspapers. It became harder for people to hear different opinions. Some laws were passed to stop protests and limit what people could say online. These changes made many Russians and people from other countries worry about human rights and freedom of speech. Political opposition means people and groups who do not agree with Putin and his government. In Russia, opposition leaders often face many problems. Some are not allowed to be on the ballot during elections. Others are arrested or fined. Protests are often stopped by police. Many opposition leaders say it is hard to speak freely or compete fairly in politics. One of the most famous opposition leaders was Alexei Navalny. He spoke out against corruption in the government. He made videos and organized protests. Navalny was arrested many times. In 2020, he was poisoned and became very sick. Many people believed the Russian government was behind it, but the government denied it. After he recovered in Germany, Navalny returned to Russia and was arrested again. Despite these problems, some Russians still support the opposition. They want more freedom, fair elections, and open discussion. But many others continue to support Putin. They believe he has brought peace and strength to the country. Putin's government also created laws to label some groups as foreign agents. This means the government says they are working for other countries. These groups often help with human rights, education, or the environment. Being called a foreign agent makes it hard for them to work in Russia. This chapter shows that Putin's domestic policies helped bring order and growth, but also brought less freedom for many people. His strong control of government made Russia stable, but political opposition became weaker. The story of domestic life in Russia under Putin is both one of success and of struggle for freedom. Chapter 9: Role in Global Geopolitics and Alliances of Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin plays a big role in global geopolitics. This means how countries work with or against each other in the world. As the leader of Russia, Putin wants his country to be strong and respected around the world. He wants Russia to be one of the most powerful countries, like the United States and China. After the fall of the Soviet Union in 1991, Russia lost some of its power. When Putin became president in 2000, he worked to make Russia important again. He spoke at world meetings and talked about Russian pride. He said Russia should have a big voice in world affairs. This idea became a key part of his foreign policy. One of Putin's main goals is to build alliances, partnerships with other countries. He made strong connections with countries that are not close to the West. These include China, India, Iran, and some countries in Africa and Latin America. Putin believes it is important to have many friends in different parts of the world. Russia and China have become close partners under Putin. They both want a world where no single country, like the United States, is the boss. Russia and China do business together and hold military exercises. Putin also visited India many times and signed deals for trade and defense. Putin helped create groups like BRICS, which includes Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These countries work together to improve their economies and have more power in world decisions. Putin believes that smaller and growing countries should have more say in global matters. Putin also works with the United Nations, though he often disagrees with the West. He uses Russia's power, especially its seat on the UN Security Council, to stop actions he does not like. For example, Russia often blocks decisions that go against countries like Syria or Iran. In the Middle East, Putin played a big role in the war in Syria. Russia helped the Syrian government in its fight against rebels. Many countries were surprised by how strong and active Russia became in that conflict. Putin said Russia wanted to fight terrorism and protect its ally, Syria. Putin also built military power. Russia's army became stronger, with new weapons and training. This helped him show other countries that Russia is a serious global power. He also opened military bases in different parts of the world. However, Putin's actions also created problems. After Russia took Crimea and became involved in Ukraine, many Western countries cut ties with Russia. They gave economic sanctions and stopped working together on some projects. Still, Putin continued to build ties with non-Western countries. This chapter shows how Vladimir Putin has worked to make Russia powerful on the world stage. He believes in strong leadership, smart alliances, and respect for Russia's interests. Even when relations with the West are tense, Putin continues to shape the world through his actions and partnerships. Chapter 10: Legacy, Image, and Future Prospects of Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin has been one of the most important leaders in Russia's modern history. He has stayed in power for more than 20 years, serving as both president and prime minister. His legacy means what people will remember about him in the future. His image is how people see him now. And his future prospects are what might happen next in his career. Putin's legacy is very strong inside Russia. Many people believe he made the country stable after years of trouble. In the 1990s, Russia had big problems. The economy was poor, crime was high, and people were worried about the future. When Putin came to power in 2000, he promised to bring order, strength, and pride back to Russia. Many Russians feel that he kept that promise. He improved the economy in his early years, helped people get their salaries on time, and made the government stronger. He also made Russia more powerful in world affairs. Under his leadership, Russia took a more active role in the world and stood up to the West. These actions made many Russians feel proud. However, not everyone sees Putin in the same way. Some people in Russia and other countries say that he reduced freedom. They believe he controlled the media, stopped free elections, and punished people who disagreed with him. Others worry about his role in conflicts like the war in Ukraine and the annexation of Crimea. For these reasons, his legacy is both strong and controversial. Putin's image is very powerful. He is often shown as a strong, serious, and fearless leader. Pictures of him doing sports, flying planes, or riding horses show him as active and brave. His supporters see him as a man who protects Russia and speaks for the people. His critics see him as someone who does not allow different opinions and keeps too much power for himself. Looking at the future, many people wonder what will happen next. Will Putin stay in power for many more years? In 2020, a new law was passed that allows him to run for president again in 2024 and even in 2030. If he wins, he could stay in power for a very long time. Some people think this is good for Russia's stability. Others worry it may stop change and progress. Putin's future also depends on the economy, international relations, and how people in Russia feel about him. If life gets harder, or if young people want more freedom, his power might slowly become weaker. But for now, Putin still has strong support and remains the most important figure in Russian politics. This chapter shows how Vladimir Putin has shaped Russia's history, politics, and place in the world. His legacy is full of both success and debate. His image as a strong leader is known around the globe. And his future will continue to be important for Russia and the rest of the world. Vocabularies. 1. Annexation, the act of taking control of land and making it part of a country. Example, Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014. 2. Sanctions, official actions, usually by governments, to punish a country by stopping trade or business. Example, Western countries gave economic sanctions to Russia. 3. Legacy, what a person is remembered for after they leave a job or after they die. Example, Putin's legacy includes economic growth and strong leadership. 4. Opposition, people or groups who disagree with the government or leader. Example, Putin faced political opposition from leaders like Alexei Navalny. 5. Alliance, a formal agreement or friendship between countries or groups. Example, Russia has strong alliances with China and India. 6. Geopolitics, the study of how countries behave based on geography, politics, and power. Example, Putin played a major role in global geopolitics. 7. Stability, a situation where things are steady, calm, and not changing suddenly. Example, Putin brought stability to Russia after a difficult time. 8. Centralization, the process of giving more power to the central government. Example, Putin supported centralization by choosing regional governors himself. 9. Foreign policy, a country's plan for how it deals with other countries. Example, Putin's foreign policy focused on making Russia stronger globally. 10. Corruption, dishonest or illegal actions, usually by people in power. Example: some opposition leaders spoke out against corruption in government. Questions. 1. In which city was Vladimir Putin born? 2. What organization did Putin work for after graduating from university? 3. Who appointed Putin as Prime Minister in 1999? 4. What region was a major focus of the war during Putin's first presidential term? 5. Who became President of Russia in 2008 while Putin became Prime Minister? 6. What military group's expansion did Putin see as a threat to Russia? 7. What region did Russia annex from Ukraine in 2014? 8. What is the name of the opposition leader who was poisoned and later arrested? 9. Which country has become a strong ally of Russia under Putin's leadership? 10. What law was changed in 2020 that allows Putin to run for president again? Thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed learning with us. If you like this content, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends and family. Your support helps us grow and bring you more inspiring stories and easy English learning content. Do you have a topic you'd like us to cover in our next video? Maybe a famous person, an invention, or a country? Let us know in the comments or messages. We'd love to hear your ideas. You can find answers in the description. Thanks again, and keep learning with us. See you in the next video.